guys, so it's been a while since I made my last zpop dream video, and a few things have happened since then, and a few things I want to clear up from my first zpop video. So I'm going to talk about and share my opinions on Mahiro's absence, the Glitsy App, what I think about the company and their comebacks as well, and also end on my overall thoughts and opinions on each matter. And of course, there will be timestamps in the description box below where you can skip to any topic that you wish to skip to. I will also give a brief rundown on the group itself and make a few corrections, again based off my first video. Now also please keep in mind this is going to be an opinions-based video based off the events that have happened so far, and if you are not fond of other people's opinions, this video may not be right for you. Please also understand this is in no way a hate video. I have no ill feelings towards any of the group nor their members in the slightest, and plus it'll be jobless of me to hate on the group for no reason. Also please understand this is going to be a long video since I have a lot of topics I want to cover as well as share my opinions, and also based off my channel I don't know what a short video is apparently. So with that being said, onto the video. Before I go into any of those topics, I first want to correct some information from my first zpop dream video, as well as bring you up to date with what has happened to the group thus far, and also in case this is your first time hearing about the group and the project itself. When I made that video, it was before the group's press conference in Vietnam, and the company cleared up a few things pertaining to the concept of the group and the concept itself. So, what is the zpop dream project? The zpop Dream Project, co-founded by Jun Kong, who is the CEO of Zenith Media Content, who seeks to replicate the success of K-pop and create global music stars from multiple countries by bringing together the K-pop professionals and voting power of fans. The CEO of Zenith Content, Kong Jun, also stated, "Through zpop Dream, we intend to start up a concert brand that will unite Asia as one. These zpop stars are a collaboration between the Asian unity and K-pop stars. We will become a platform to promote them and help them become world stars, as well as a platform where Asia can become one through cultural exchange." The project also garnered attention back in the fall when it was reported that zpop Dream was a bid to find the next K-pop star through the use of blockchain. Then back in 2018, the zpop Dream held auditions in 7 countries to find one boy and one girl from each country, totaling up to 14 members in total, where they would take those 14 boys and girls, train them in Korea, and where they would then form 2 groups, one being zgirls, which included Carlin as the leader of zgirls and the center of the group, Vanya as the main dancer and vocalist, Queen as the main rapper, Priyanka as the main vocalist, Joanne as the lead dancer and visual, and Belle, who is the youngest member, as the sub-vocalist. And the second group being zboys, which included members Mavin as the leader of the group, Perry as the lead dancer and lead vocalist, Roy as the main vocalist, Josh as the main dancer, Sid as the main vocalist, and Blink, who is also the youngest member of zboys, as a sub-vocalist in the group itself. Both groups were announced on January 15th. Once the members were revealed, the company announced that they would soon reveal the 2 hidden members later on. However, when the members were revealed, many people were shocked and confused why there wasn't a Korean member within the group, while others were excited about the overall concept and the group itself. Then, on February 15, 2019, the company revealed their 2 hidden members, which included Mahiro as the lead vocalist and visuals, who is a former member of N46 who graduated back in March of 2018, and Kai as the main rapper for zboys. After the hidden members were revealed, the group faced even more backlash from people who questioned how the group can call themselves a K-pop group without having a Korean member in either unit, and others calling them an EXP 2.0, while many fans try to correct other people by saying that the company never called the group a K-pop group to begin with, and that both groups were incorrectly labeled as a K-pop group, and that this is strictly Z-pop, not K-pop. Despite the confusion and backlash, the company continued as planned with the debut of both groups. So now moving on to their debut. Soon after the reveal of Kai and Mahiro, zpop Dream announced that both groups will make their official debut through the zpop Dream Live in Seoul concert on February 23rd. The concert will have guest performances from groups and singers such as Rain, Monsta X, A-Pink, Kim Chung-ha, Wannabe, Lip Bubble, and Tweety. Leading up to the debut of both groups, the company uploaded 5 episodes that were meant for fans to get to know the group better. However, Kai and Mahiro were not featured in the episodes due to being hidden members at the time. Then on February 19th, the company uploaded the music video teasers for both debut singles for both zgirls and zboys. Now skipping ahead to February 21st, the music video for both zgirls and zboys were released. The girls debut with the single What You Waiting For, and the boys No Limit. and then went on to performing their first concert that made their debut official. Since then, the group has held a press conference in Vietnam and went on to doing promotional activities as well as in Indonesia and also in the Philippines, and completing their first showcases. Since then, the company started season 2 of Z-Star Vlogs featuring both groups and announced that they are releasing a comeback single in July. Now, with somewhat of a brief summary out of the way, we can now touch on what has currently happened to the zpop Dream project. So now let's move on to Mahiro's absence. Since all the members of both zgirls and zboys have their own social media, along with the zpop project official Instagram, fans are able to interact with the members and show support for each member. However, fans began to realize that Mahiro was less active on Instagram and was appearing less in some of the posts featuring the other girls of zgirls. Fans also began to question where was Mahiro and why wasn't she included in the mukbangs, the comment reactions, and so forth. Fans tried to assure one another by saying she was most likely sleeping, which is now taken as an inside joke, or that the company was having her do something else and that they shouldn't worry. Then on May 18th, a video featuring Priyanka, Queen, Carlin, Belle, and Joanne was posted on the zpop project official Instagram, where the girls made a video wishing Vanya a happy birthday. However, the comments asking where was Mahiro grew even more, with people asking where is Mahiro and why wasn't Mahiro in the video. At the time, it was said that Mahiro was sick and still in Japan and couldn't be a part of the zgirl activities. However, people were still worried. Then on May 29th, the management for zpop Dream made a statement which was posted on the zpop Dream official Instagram and Twitter regarding the absence of Mahiro, which reads as follows. zgirls member Mahiro is taking a temporary leave of absence from engagements with zgirls, the Pan-Asian girl group which debuted at the zpop Dream live concert in February 2019. She will not be involved in the recording of zgirls' second single, which will be released worldwide in July 2019. We look forward to welcoming Mahiro back after she has attended to personal matters. Fans began to leave a sea of messages wishing Mahiro well and that they will wait for her to return, while there were a few comments here and there expecting Mahiro to eventually leave the group. Fans also took to Mahiro's Instagram to leave positive messages for her and some asking when she will be back. And since then, that is where the situation has been left at, with zgirls continuing activities with 6 members. Now, before I state my opinion on this, I have to reiterate that this is solely just an opinion, and I mean no hate with this opinion in the slightest. In all honesty, I am a bit split about the situation. Part of me wants to take the company's word that she'll be back after dealing a few personal issues while in Japan, but the other part of me is concerned and thinks that there is a big chance of her not coming back to the group. I have seen some people mention that Mahiro's English is not as good as the other members, so she may be having a bit of trouble communicating and such, which could influence the chance of her leaving. From the times I've noticed other groups have members leave for personal issues, I'm not gonna lie, there have been some who chose to not come back due to, again, of personal issues. Although Zenith did state that they do look forward to her return, I do think people need to keep in mind that there is a possibility she may not come back. I'm not saying she won't return, but from the time the statement was made to whenever Zenith decides to update fans again properly, some minds could have been changed and some decisions could have been made in terms of her coming back. I do wonder, however, if she does decide not to come back, will the company replace her since it is still pretty early and that they only released 2 songs that include her, or will they have zgirls continue with the remaining 6 members? But for now, we will just have to wait and see if or when she returns to the group. But I will say I do hope she does return. And so now with that being said, let's move on to the Glitsy App. Right before Zenith Entertainment put up the statement about Mahiro's temporary absence from zgirls, on May 29th, the company uploaded a teaser introducing Glitsy on the zpop project official Instagram, which based off the teaser was an app designed for Generation Z that came with the power to transform your life and to become the next global act, and also announcing the app would be available on June 6th. And of course, fans were excited at the chance to live out their dream to become singers, although there were some people who were confused and raised questions about the app. While the countdown for the app began, both Glitsy and zpop Dream uploaded videos of each Z-star introducing the app and reminding fans that it only takes 30 seconds to chase after your dream. At the time of the initial announcement, the only information that was available about the app was that it would launch on June 6th and that you had to upload a 30-second video of you singing, dancing, and or rapping onto the app. And of course, that wasn't enough information for fans, so fans began to ask questions of the auditioning process and for more information. such as, is it really a worldwide audition? Which countries are eligible to participate? Is there an age requirement? Can you upload multiple videos? How does voting work? Will it solely be based off talent and not visuals? What language do you have to perform in? And so forth, in which whoever runs the Glitsy app gave out the same response to each of those questions, which reads as follows. Stay glued for the launch of Glitsy on June 6th for basically every question that was asked on the Glitsy Instagram. Which, side note, not to be disrespectful anyway, but you don't understand how irritating it was to constantly read that same response when getting screenshots of fan questions for this video. But anyways, then finally the day came when the Glitsy app and website was released and more information of the auditioning process was announced, and a sea of disappointment erupted. When fans went to the website to read more information on the auditioning process, many fans were not happy with what they saw. So when you go to the Glitsy website and open the homepage, there you'll be able to see small previews of the app, but when you scroll down, you see in big white letters, zpop Dream Project aims to discover young talents from all over Asia, which meant people from North and South America, Africa, Europe, and the Oceania region could not audition, which made many people from those regions upset and frustrated. However, many people living within the Asian region were still happy to get the chance to audition until they clicked to join the pre-audition. And sure enough, even more people were disappointed when they scrolled on to see that only 7 countries were eligible for the audition, and that they were the same countries that the current Z-stars were from, which are India, Indonesia, Japan, the Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. And sure enough, when you thought they couldn't disappoint people even more, they certainly did when fans read over the requirements for the audition in their frequently asked questions, which read as follows. Age, 15 to 23 years old. Height, over 160 centimeters for female, over 170 centimeters for male. Language ability, native or fluent in English. Gender, male and female. Nationality, must have a passport in the countries of Indonesia, India, Japan, Philippines, Thailand, Taiwan, and Vietnam. Video duration, 30 seconds, and the content must be singing, dancing, and or instrumental performance. Singing can be in any language, but English is preferred, and can also be within the 7 languages of each territory, and the dance can be any genre. Any applicant must be able to fully participate in all Z-Star activities, including training in Korea from January 2020, be eligible for acquiring foreign visas, be able to accept a 5-year artist contract, be independent in handling and managing own school-related matters where applicable, and final selection global Z-Stars, 1 male grand winner and 1 female grand winner, along with local Z-Stars, 3 winners with no gender split. And once again, fans who had their hopes up of auditioning were made aware that they were not eligible and shared their disappointment on both the Glitsy app and the zpop Dream Instagram, and some even criticizing the app on the terms of their global audition. However, when the app was released, many fans were still not able to access the app, or the app wasn't working with them, in which they were told to send the Glitsy Instagram a DM pertaining to the problems, and some were told to wait a bit longer for updates in terms of the app. The day the app came out, I too also tried to download the app onto my phone, but when I typed Glitsy onto my phone, the app did not show up for me. So I decided to try to access the app through the website just to double check if it was available, and sure enough, I received a message that it was not available in my area. So unfortunately, I will not be able to show you what the app looks like. So sorry about that. But anyways, on the same day the Glitsy app was released, the Instagram page put up a post sharing more information on how to download the Glitsy app, and ended with a link that would direct fans to a list of countries the Glitsy app was available in on their Facebook page, and also upload the same list onto the Glitsy website. However, once again, the disappointment grew when fans looked through the list and saw that there were many countries that were being left out. And some fans took to the Instagram page to express their frustration on not being able to access the app in their country, and felt as if they were being left out in the process. And since recording this video, the list has also been yet to be updated to include more countries. So, now before I share my opinion on the topic, I'm going to be very honest with you. This is the one topic that actually made me extremely frustrated and was even more irritating going through. When I first saw the teasers of the app, my first thought was, when Zenith said that they were going to replicate the success of K-pop, they really weren't kidding, and that the Glitsy App was basically a zpop version of the V-Live app, but just with more features and also including an auditioning process, which to me, again, is a great idea since it will be another place for people to interact with both zgirls and zboys. However, how they went about introducing this app to me was just wrong and not the most professional way to do it, especially since it was going to be used to hold auditions. First of all, they described the auditions as a worldwide audition. Let's just quickly look up the definition of worldwide, which reads extending or reaching throughout the world. The world. That's just to emphasize that. The world. You can't call this a worldwide audition when only 7 countries are able to audition. Like, you call this a worldwide audition when only 7 countries can audition. Please, someone, make it make sense. I beg. This isn't a worldwide audition, it's an Asian region audition. When K-pop companies hold auditions, they usually will say off the bat which region or country in particular they will be holding auditions in, and are usually very clear about that. Secondly, I was actually a bit surprised to see that they didn't expand to other Asian countries, since they did say that they wanted this to unite the Asias, and I pretty much figured off the bat when I saw the first teaser when they announced it that this was most likely going to focus within the Asian region. However, why not expand to countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Bangladesh, Iran, Sri Lanka, and so forth, when you said, again, you wanted to unite the Asias as part of your mission? And lastly, why didn't you put out at least general information pertaining to the requirements in order to audition? This, to me, was probably the most irritating thing that they did not do, especially since you have people who are going to be using their time to audition at the end of the day. I can understand maybe waiting a day or two after the announcement of the app to gather hype, but there were tons and tons of people within the comment sections asking very important and valid questions that should be known before if a person wishes to audition. And usually general information is given out beforehand so people have enough time to prepare. It would be easier to put out general information so people knew whether they were able to be eligible to audition or not. But by not doing so, you're allowing fans to get their hopes up, thinking they're going to be able to make their dreams come true, and preparing for their audition, to then find out the day the app is released, they can't even audition because they're not even eligible. And then on top of that, to find out that they can't even use the app because the app is not available in their country. You could have prevented fewer people from complaining on the app and spreading misinformation within the comment section if you would at least just put out general information. You don't have to put out everything because I know it's more of a developing matter, but at least a baseline of general information required for auditioning. And also, whose idea was it to put a 30-second time limit? In all honesty, 30 seconds is by far not enough time, especially for the people who are going to be auditioning through dancing. And personally, I think 1 minute is much more reasonable for people. And since they are taking from the top 50 of each country, and the top 50 will be featured on television networks in the process to gather 14 male and female winners, what will be the process of deciding a winner within the process? Will there be more voting involved, or will it be solely up to the company? But for now, we're just going to have to wait and see. But personally, to me, I do think the app is a great idea. But the way they introduced it and went about introducing it and put out information and providing information was just wrong. And also on top of that, you still are alienating a lot of countries where you have fans of your group and they can't even use that app because they've been cut out from that. But anyways, let's now talk about Zenith as a company. In my first zpop dream video, I touched briefly about my feelings towards the company, and since that video, I've become more skeptical towards the company itself. When I first looked into the company for my first video and looking through their parent company Instagram, it talked about the global market, blockchain, cryptocurrency, the token economy, and the stakes within the music market. And in almost every Instagram post, it talked about the impact of K-pop and tied it back into how to grow the token economy and also how to collect tokens. This is also mentioned within their website as well as their introduction video when talking about the company, and makes references to big names such as Psy, BTS, EXO, 101, 2NE1, Girls' Generation, and so forth. And like I said in my previous video, this is obviously the investment and business side of the company. And looking back on the company website, I failed to look at the white paper and light paper links on the website. When I clicked on the two links, it took me to a PDF that talks about topics such as an overview of the music industry, particularly K-pop, the zpop community, zpop online platform, zpop coin token economy, and the initial token offering. Now, I'm not going to read out the whole PDF because wow, it's very long. And so instead I will have both PDFs linked in the description box below if you wish to read it, but I will highlight a few things that I read within both PDFs. In the executive summary, they mention the process of creating and discovering stars, and that the fans will have the power to support their favorites by voting through zpop Online. And the zpop Online will be a platform designed to connect stars with fans around the world, monetize traffic, and generation demand for zpop coins, which is the base currency in the zpop Dream ecosystem. Then, within their overview of the industry, they mentioned how K-pop went from being exclusive to Koreans to being available worldwide, and talked about the impact that it has had on the global music market, as well as using Psy's Gangnam Style and a breakdown of BTS's YouTube traffic by country to show the growth of K-pop within the market. Then, they mentioned the star creation infrastructure and list how to make dreamers into stars, and list out the steps of the dream auditions, which are done locally, and the global auditions that are done to find global stars, and then ending it on mentioning a world tour that will be called zpop Dream Live, which, as we already know, has happened if you remember that the initial members officially debuted in a concert in Seoul. They also talked about the zpop Online platform, which will be accessed through a mobile app that will showcase the zpop global stars, zpop stars, and zpop dreamers. The app will be designed to capture and retain a core fan base around the world, drive engagement for online voting, create demand for zpop coin holding and creating revenue opportunities, and a lot of features that they listed out within the PDF are somewhat similar to what the Glitsy app has to offer. So it leads me to believe that the final version of zpop Online is most likely the Glitsy app. The PDF also goes over reality streaming, fan vote for fame, online stores that will have online shopping channels used to distribute items for Z stars, global stars, and online users, concert tickets, backstage tour tickets, streaming, and the ability to purchase with zpop coin or credit card, with a portion of the sales to be used for donation events. And lastly, the zpop mobile wallet, which is essentially a crypto wallet built into the app. They also go into more in detail on how everything will work, and also provide a chart on the process. And lastly, mention the use of blockchain application and the zpop coin token economy. Again, if you wish to read the whole thing, I will have both versions of the PDF linked in the description box below. In all honesty, I will admit that this is a very elaborate plan, and with ways they're executing that plan, but there is a huge part of me that can't help but side at the company and see it as a bit sketchy, especially with the use of cryptocurrency. As far as I know, it's not government regulated. Now, this is just my opinion, but the way I see it is that this is a company that just sees the success of K-pop, wants a piece of it, but instead of creating a K-pop group and having them debut within the oversaturated K-pop market, instead they create a pan-Asian group under a new subgenre built off the hype of K-pop to garner attention. And because there are people who want to become an idol, they use that to market to those people by saying that they can become the next big thing to further grow their audience. Now, with that being said, it does worry me a bit, and I do hope that these people's dreams are not being taken advantage of, especially since on the website it describes their idols more like products than actual human beings. Which, let's be honest, this already happens in K-pop and other industries, but besides that, it just seems a bit off to me and seems more like a get-rich scheme with a bunch of business schemes and ideologies, but this could just be me overthinking things. Another issue I also have with the company is that it seems like they don't properly update their fans. In the case of how long it took for them to put up a statement about Mahiro's absence, and also to when is their next comeback, and more details on their July comeback, and when will teasers be released, and so forth, which has allowed fans to piece the information together themselves and basically get and grab as much information as they can from interviews. And not to mention the lack of answered questions when it came to the Glitsy app. Some thoughts that I also had when it comes to the company is that, will they have both groups go to more countries besides Indonesia, the Philippines, and Vietnam? And when they do go to more countries, will they promote them as well as they did when they went to the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia? And how do they plan to go about individual promotions? And when do they plan to do that since they mentioned it in their press conference in terms of Queen and Roy? And do they plan to properly promote this group? And since they've mentioned expanding, when will they expand to other countries? And why wasn't the app available in certain places? But since it is pretty still early, we'll just have to wait and see and hope that the company gets better at informing their fans and hopefully actually expanding. I do understand that because this is just got a first go in a project, they're probably most likely going to start off small. But I do wish to see a gradual expansion, especially within the Asian region, since they only kind of blocked this off to 7 countries. I do wonder and hope that they do expand to at least including more Asian countries besides the 7 that they've already started with. So what you finally have been waiting for, or you probably just skipped all the way to this part of the video, the comeback. So before I get into the comeback, just a few things. Zenith stated with this concept it would be more of a mature concept for both groups, and it's also been going around that this comeback will be done possibly in multiple languages, and that they will also be promoting in Korea as well as Indonesia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. I also want to say that whoever was in charge of the makeup and styling for the teaser photos deserves a fucking raise, because everybody looked good in their photos, and the photos alone actually had me looking forward to this comeback. Although I will admit there were some dye choices that raised a bit of eyebrows for me, but that's not the point. Now, I'm going to start with the girls since their music video came out first, or I just so happened to see their music video first in my feed. And I know with debuts, a lot of companies tend to play it safe and put out songs that they know will be catchy with their audience. But Streets of Gold was such a fucking step up from What You Waiting For. And to be honest, I prefer Streets of Gold over What You Waiting For, even though I still like both songs. This concept suits the girls so well, and it was so nice to see some of the members have more parts, although I do wish the line distribution was a little bit more even. All the members looked beautiful in my opinion, but I'll be honest, this music video was pretty much Priyanka's time to shine. But even saying that, each girl drew in my attention, and the song is way less predictable than What You Waiting For, and the choreo was such a huge step up from What You Waiting For as well. It was less predictable, more interesting to watch, didn't feel redundant or I was like watching the same thing over and over again, and it does a good job of suiting the song. Now, also, since Fire Flame by zgirls TPI, a unit consisting of Belle, Carlin, and Vanya came out at the same time, I'll also just include my thoughts on that song as well. I thought the song was really cute, it was fresh, good for the summer, definitely catchy, and maybe a little cliche lyric-wise, but it was so nice to see Belle get a chance to shine and show off her vocals a bit, especially since she's been improving since her debut up until now, and the 3 girls vocally complement each other so well, and the song definitely suits this unit, and I actually hope that they make a unit with their remaining girls soon, because I would love to see how that dynamic would also play out. So now, moving on to the boys. If you remember from my last video, I said I did not like No Limit at all and hope that their second song would be better than No Limit. And yeah, Holla Holla was, in my opinion, way better than No Limit. Less cliche, more interesting to watch, but I will admit the song itself is still growing on me just a little bit. The choreo was such a huge step up, and similar to the girls, less redundant, something that's actually interesting to watch and drew in my attention, and it was so nice to see the members get a chance to shine, although I will admit some members have more of a spotlight than others, and all the members managed to stand out in some way compared to No Limit. Also, Mavin and Guy's part definitely threw me off a bit, but in a good way. But overall, a solid fucking comeback. Not to be a bit sappy, and I'm just gonna include this, but while making this video, I had to watch so many other performances, and it was to the point where both of their debut songs were constantly stuck in my head repeatedly for days. But in all honesty, it makes me so happy to see how much they've improved from those stages up to this comeback, especially for the members whose vocals were not strong previously. And to me, there is something there with both groups. Also, Zenith made the right move to enter the Korean market with these songs, and if or when they put out a Korean version of these songs, I actually think that they can grow somewhat of a fan base and or bring more attention to themselves. I do wish that they were going to promote the song in other countries besides the previous 3 countries that they had showcases in, but at the same time, it does make sense to go back to those countries to solidify themselves there first and slowly move into more countries later on. But overall, a good move and a good comeback on Zenith. Zenith's part. Despite my feelings with the company, like I said in my first video, I still think it's such a great idea to have a pan-Asian group, and at first I was skeptical about them not having a Korean member, but after hearing the explanation that they didn't want K-pop to be the main focus of the group and focus on other parts of Asia, it does make sense at the end of the day. But I do see the argument of why they should have a Korean member, especially now that they're making the move to promote in Korea. And yes, before anyone says it, I am aware that they are learning Korean and that Joanne knows some Korean to some degree, and that their Korean in fact is getting better. I just think it also could have helped out the group to have a Korean member. But at the same time, I don't really think they need a Korean member. So I guess you can say I'm still slightly mixed when it comes to that topic, but I do see both sides of the argument. And I understand that they didn't want K-pop to be the center of the group, since again, this isn't K-pop, but at the same time, they did use K-pop to garner attention, and they're gonna have to use K-pop to bring more attention to the group, especially now that they'll be promoting in Korea and will be up against K-pop groups despite being a Z-pop group. But moving on. The Glitsy app, as much as I dislike how they went about introducing it, I still think it's such a great idea to have. But it does seem to me that they're still alienating certain countries from interacting by not having it available in every country, besides the ones that they already listed to be available in. And it's great that they now have a VLive channel, but if you're going to make a global app for fans, it should be available for everybody. Now, in terms of the company, I'll be honest and say that like every other company out there, I don't think I'll ever fully trust this company, and I'll probably see this company as shady. However, compared to other companies, they just seem to be more open about being shady, if that makes any sense. But it's nice to see that the members are being taken care of in both groups. And honestly, at the end of the day, like I said in my first video, I just want to see this group do well, because each member to me seems very talented, and I just want them to go far in their careers at the end of the day. And I feel like some people judged this group way too quickly due to headlines that they saw pertaining to the group and a lot of miscommunication, and also didn't give this group a fair chance and wrote them off way too quickly, because there is something here with these groups and they can go far if Zenith makes the right moves to promote them properly. But yeah, I know this video is long, but I felt the need to make an updated version from my first video since there was more clarified information put out there, and as well as include some more information in my opinions on certain topics, and also go more in depth in case this is someone's first time hearing about zpop Dream. And this most likely will be my last video I make about zpop Dream unless something else happens or if someone asks me to make another one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video, comment any thoughts and opinions you have on anything I talked about or anything else that's been going on with the project. At the end of the day, remember to be respectful and be respectful of each person's opinions, because we're all gonna have different opinions at the end of the day. And also subscribe for more if you'd like. Check out my previous videos, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for my next upload. Bye.